Good morning. Today is February 12th, 2013. My name is Angela. I'm with FitStrongLean.com and I am a teen beachbody coach. Welcome, and I have some good news today. I've started a Shakeology cleanse. It is a 3-day cleanse. I talked about it in yesterday's video, so you can go take a look at that. And so I'm going to give you an update on that. We have a quote of the day, and we have a new series that we're starting today. So let's get started. The quote of the day today is by Tracy, and he said that the most powerful and predictable people builders are praise and encouragement. If you think back on any time and any time that you've ever wanted to succeed in something, I mean, you really, really wanted it. Whenever someone has put you down, did you succeed? Maybe you still succeeded, but it was probably a lot harder. If you really want to help build someone up, you don't want to put them down. You don't want to discourage them. You don't want to tell them they can't do something or that it's just too hard or anything else. And while in our heads that we know that is that is true, that we should not be putting people down, we still do it all the time in some shape or another, whether it's by a discouraging look or a disapproving glance or whatever. We're discouraging people. So I would challenge you today to really be conscious of how your actions and your words come through to other people, and try to give praise and encouragement anytime that you possibly can. But don't forget also to give yourself praise and encouragement, because it seems so much easier to give other people that praise and that encouragement, and sometimes we neglect ourselves. We don't give ourselves enough praise and encouragement. So let's, assuming that you're going to work out today, and I hope that you will, if you go and you work out today and you finish that workout, I want you to tell yourself out loud, I want you to say, "Good job. I did a good job today. Man, I'm really proud of myself. That was amazing. That was a great workout." And if you're really tired after you're done or whatever, don't start beating yourself up, and don't be like, "Oh, that was so hard. I'm so tired." Just say, "You know what? It was hard, but I did it." Tony Horton, who is famous all over, through Beachbody for P90X, P90X2, One-on-One, Power 90. He's done so many great things for people. One of the things that he says in one of his videos is, do not say that you can't do something. For instance, I can't do a pull-up. Say, I presently struggle with. And your whole outlook is going to change. I presently struggle with pull-ups. I presently struggle with full push-ups, full body push-ups instead of being on my knees. There's lots of things that I presently struggle with. And you know what? That's okay. It really is. Because I know that as I keep going, I'm going to get better, and so will you. So don't forget to give yourself that praise and encouragement, as well as others. If you really want to help build people up instead of tear them down, that's what you need to do. So about the Shakeology cleanse, I started that yesterday. Real quick recap is it is a 3-day cleanse. You have 3 shakes a day, 2 cups of green tea a day, 1 or 2 pieces of fruit throughout the day, and salad for dinner with some type of white meat, so like grilled chicken or fish. And to be honest with you, I actually almost forgot the grilled chicken last night. I had this giant, wonderful salad. It had a couple different types of greens in it. I had kale, and I had a little bit of iceberg, just because I like how iceberg tastes, even though I know it has 0 nutritional value. I just threw a little bit in there. And also romaine lettuce. That's right, romaine. So, but most of it was probably kale. And then, thanks to a friend that I know on Facebook and I went to high school with, she had posted a recipe, a really great kale salad recipe the other day, and so I made the dressing from it. It was kind of a honey mustard dressing, and it was fantastic. And I cut up cucumbers and apples and put those on top, and it was great. It was really good. And then I also had some sliced cucumbers with it and some little baby carrots, and And I was good, and then I thought about it later. I thought, oh, I forgot to have the chicken. I had saved chicken, set it aside for this, and I totally forgot. So I ate the chicken later. So I will say that I feel great. I am down 1 pound this morning, and this is despite a monthly visitor showing up, which ordinarily would cause me to be very bloated today and to feel really yucky and crappy today, and I don't feel that at all. So this is a really good feeling for me. I know that I have a lot of my problems that I have, physically speaking and medically speaking, are because of toxicity in my body. And so when I learned about the Shakeology cleanse, I really stopped and was thinking about it, and I kind of learned a little more about how it works and whatnot. And so that's why I went ahead and tried it, especially after a friend of mine just said that was, mentioned that she was interested in trying it. Shakeology, just by itself, one of the things that it does, it does a lot of things, but one of the things it does is it helps to restore the pH balance in your body. When our pH balance gets out of whack in our body, that's where we start to have toxicity from a variety of things. And the series is going to be about toxicity because I feel it's very important, and I don't feel like it's covered very much, and we don't realize how toxic our environment really is sometimes. But I will talk about that in a minute. So the cleanse so far is going great. I didn't feel hungry yesterday. I felt a little bit hungry right there in the evening, but then I personally I go about like 8 hours between dinner and bedtime. So that's a pretty good chunk of time. I had some green tea, and I kind of snacked a little bit here and there on. This is a piece of the P90X protein bars. What I've done is I have taken the protein bar and I cut it into 10 separate pieces, and then as I feel like I need a little bit of a boost or a pick me up, I just take one of those and I eat it, and then this is just enough to kind of take that little edge off. So, but at no point yesterday did I ever get to the point where I was just ravenously hungry or anything. Every time that I got hungry, it was time for the next part of the plan anyway. It was time to have another shake, or it was time to have fruit or whatever. So it was fine. I worked out yesterday just fine. I did, what was it? Chest and back, I believe, yesterday, and ab rex. And I tell you what, for the last 2 weeks, even though I've been doing P90X the whole last 2 weeks, I never really felt it, I guess. Like, I never got sore or anything until yesterday, or until today. I feel yesterday's workout, and I almost wonder if it's not because I was so bloated and distended and everything, that my muscles had so much pressure on them that I never really noticed that I got sore. So I'm a little bit sore today, but it's not bad. And, it's definitely within tolerable limits, and I'll be able to work out just fine today. And today is plyo, so I gotta bring my game. So I'm going to move on to the series that I want to start about toxicity. It's going to be a pretty short series. I think it's probably only going to be 3 days worth. I think part of toxicity is simply not knowing what you're looking for when you really stop and think about it. A lot of our symptoms that we deal with on a day-to-day basis are actually caused by toxicity, and not by things that we think they would be caused by. And so we tend to treat them, I think, in ways that are kind of counterproductive to fixing the problem to begin with. We're trying to put band-aids on it instead of actually solving the problem. Our bodies, though, have an amazing ability to naturally try to cleanse our bodies. The problem becomes, or the problem happens when our bodies can't get rid of the toxins fast enough. So our body does a wonderful job of getting rid of toxins on its own, if allowed to operate properly and it's not being overloaded with toxins. Your hair, your nails, all those things, those are all ways that the body gets rid of waste, and through waste comes out toxins as well. So, but some of the symptoms, include, a lot of chronic illnesses and certain conditions, such as, and I got this from TaraWarner.com. She has some great articles on there. But chronic fatigue, digestion issues. Hello, I have lots of digestion issues, unfortunately. Thyroid, blood sugar imbalance. I have been dealing with a lot of blood sugar imbalances lately. I had been tested, it's been a little while now, but I was tested at one point for diabetes. Didn't come back positive, but I do have blood sugar problems. So that's probably related to that toxicity. Headaches, I definitely get a lot of headaches, and migraines and everything else, and there's no apparent reason for those either from a doctor's standpoint. Skin rashes and conditions. I have dealt the last several years with a particular type of skin rash that tends to just kind of come and go, and it doesn't. I really haven't had any kind of luck with any kind of treatment. The doctors have told me one thing and told me how to try to treat it, and it's never worked, and it'll just pop up and be there for a while and then go away for a while. So who knows? Depression, autism. That could be a tricky one. I do have 2 kids that are on the autism spectrum, so that might tell you something. Attention deficit disorder. I also have another child who's ADD. And so, toxicity plays a real major role in all of those dysfunctions. I would say that it's almost impossible to get away from all the different toxins that we have in our environment. Primary sources of toxins can include food, of course. We have toxins all over in our food. It's kind of ridiculous and scary at the same time. Emotions, such as negative thoughts, stress, fear, guilt, and worry. Those things are so toxic to people. Think that it's just toxic to your mind. Well, let me tell you, it's toxic to your body too, because it creates a chemical imbalance in your body that can really just wreak havoc. How many times have you heard about a person who's had a heart attack or a stroke or something because they're under so much stress all the time? That stress damages our body, and it doesn't let our body do the job that it's designed to do. If it can't get rid of, like I said, all those toxins, it's going to damage our body, physically damage it. So don't underestimate negative thoughts and actions, because those have a very strong link to your physical well-being as well. The lactic acid content in our muscles, that is why it is so important to stretch. Whenever you work out, whenever you exercise, your body creates lactic acid. And if your body cannot get rid of that lactic acid, which is done best by stretching after a workout, that's where you have cramping, that's where you have soreness, you have muscle fatigue, and all sorts of things. That's a buildup. That's that's stuff that's trapped in your muscles and in your body, and it needs to get out. So don't underestimate stretching. You need to do it, before and after, to get all of that stuff worked out of your body. The air in our environment, I think we're all pretty much aware of the air quality in most places, and the environment situation, it's definitely not good. So what are you going to do about it? We can do a lot of things about it, but it's not something that we can immediately fix. It's not an immediate fix kind of thing. But definitely do your best. That's how to do that is kind of out of the scope of this, but you can do some research, I'm sure, and figure that out. Electromagnetic toxicity via technology such as cell phones and computers. How many times you've heard about brain cancer from cell phones? Now, while most of that part of it is probably a hoax, there is definitely a lot of radiation and things that come off of our computers and our lights. And everything around us, our vehicles. Every time you get in a car and drive, you may think that there's no toxins inside the vehicle, but you know what? There are. There are toxins everywhere around us, and there is no way to really fully solve that problem. And that's why we have all these problems now, like the autism, the ADD, and a lot of other disorders that are simply caused by our environment. So short of moving out into the middle of the woods or the mountains or something, there's really not a whole lot you can do about your environment. Um, so you just really have to pay really close attention to taking care of your body and your mental state, your mental health as well, to make sure that you're on track there. So that's all I'm going to say about toxicity for today. I'll address more of that later. But think about think about it, and think about all the things that, maybe that you think aren't related to how, maybe you have headaches a lot, or, for instance, I got diagnosed with fibroids. I can almost guarantee that's a product of toxicity. And the more that I start to think about things, my own physical symptoms that I've had to deal with, the more and more I realize that this is all related to toxicity. So, a case in point, and this goes back to the pH balance comment about the Shakeology. My entire life, I have had problems with swollen, bleeding gums. My entire life. Every time I went to the dentist, every time it was always, you need to brush more and you need to floss more because your gums are bleeding. Well, I'm sorry, but if I floss or brush any more than I already did, I mean, I wouldn't have any teeth left because I would have brushed them all off, you know what I mean? So I realize now that it was not a problem of not doing what I was supposed to be doing, because I have done what I'm supposed to be doing. It's actually, it's a pH imbalance is what it is. Since I started drinking Shakeology, which has only been, I think we're going on about 2 weeks now, my gums for the first time in my life are actually getting better. I mean, it's crazy. Back here, normally the problem is in the very front, and back here towards the molars and everything. I have not seen them as pink and as healthy looking as they are right now since I can't even tell you when. I mean, that's how long it's been. They look healthy, and every day I see more of my actual teeth because the swelling is reducing. The gums are going back to where they're supposed to be. They in some places they were receding, and now they're actually going back to where they should be. And so this is a problem I've dealt with my entire life. I've tried all the rinses. I have tried, the brushing and the flossing. I mean, I've done everything the doctors have told me to do. They wanted me to spend over $1,200 to get a sonic water cleaning to try to get rid of it. I did a special program through a college, a local college here, actually it was in Wichita, where they used me as a subject to do their practitioner exams for people who are trying to become dentists. And so I had, let's see, what was it? I think it was two or three quadrants, because there's 4 quadrants, of course, so 2 or 3 quadrants done with that sonic cleaning that I was told that I had to pay $1,200 to get, and I got that for free. I actually got paid to do that. It didn't work. It didn't take away all the problem. And whenever they tried to inject the Novocaine, they had to put over, at least, I lost track, honestly, but they put at least 5 shots in each side just to try to numb my mouth, and it never worked. And the gal back then mentioned that it may be a pH imbalance, and that's why it's not working. I didn't know as much as I did then. I didn't know then as much as I do now about pH balance and toxicity and things. So it didn't really click or sink in at the time. But now I'm really starting to understand what she was saying. And so with the Shakeology now, for the first time in my life, I'm starting to actually have what is starting to appear like healthy gums, and it's really incredible. It's kind of embarrassing to even say that I've had a problem like that. Nobody wants to admit it, but I have, and I am noticing a huge difference, and it is really exciting. I would love to be able to smile and not be conscious of, whether or not people are looking at my gums, because they've always just been so bad. So, yeah, toxicity and pH, very, very important things. So real quick, just going to touch on challenge group, and it's going to start on March 4th. I have several people signed up already. I would love to have you join us. There's no cost involved. I do have options if you are looking for a program, or if you would like to try the Shakeology. I would be happy to send you a sample. Just let me know. So there's no cost to join. Just come, make friends, maybe get a little accountability, which is always pretty motivating, to know that you have to report to people. It is a participation-based thing. It's going to be a closed, private Facebook group, but the more you participate and do the different challenges and things that I'm going to post, it's just going to be real simple tasks that anybody can do. But the more you participate, the more points you're going to get, and the more points you get, the more you're going to have a chance to win the prize at the end, which is going to be a copy of Chalene Johnson's book called Push, which talks about habit forming. Excuse me. Habits are the absolute key part of being successful. So I think that it's very important, and it's a wonderful book that everyone should read. So otherwise, that's it for today. Go visit fitstronglean.com. Sign up for my challenge there. Check out the different information I have about Shakeology, the different Beachbody products. There's some recipes on there. I'm still working on the site. I still have a lot of things that I want to add to it for you. So, but definitely check it out for now, and let me know what you think. I would love for you to subscribe and leave a comment down below if you want to. But otherwise, I hope to hear from you. I'm going to go do plyo now. I'm going to bring it. So thank you. Have a great day.